Hi everyone, how are you? We're going to look at where to stay in Porto, Portugal, which are the best neighborhoods to stay in, and tips on hotels that are in the best locations in the city. The historic center is the main area to stay in Porto, and it's divided into several regions. Porto's historic center is divided into Baixa, which is roughly this area here, Ribeira and Cedofeita. These are the three main areas to stay in Porto's historic center. In the surroundings of the historic center, you can also stay in Vila Nova de Gaia and in neighborhoods that have more affordable hotels and easy access to the historic center by metro, such as Trindade, Boavista, and Bonfim, which would be the cheapest area to stay while still being close to the historic center. These 12 numbers on the map are the hotels that we'll look at throughout the video. So, we're going to see which are the best neighborhoods to stay in Porto. I'll explain them, show where the main attractions are, and I'll show these 12 hotels that are in fantastic locations to stay. You can access the list with these 12 hotels to check prices, see photos, and get more details about each one through the QR code on the screen, as well as the links in the video description and the first comment. We also have another list which is the top 5 budget hotels in Porto. These are really cheap, budget-friendly hotels, but they're very close to metro stations, which makes it much easier for you to get around the city. So you can access this other list through the other QR code, and the links are also in the video description and in the first comment. So let's start here with accommodation number 1. Let me zoom in here. So accommodation 1 is located right in the heart of Porto's Baixa district. Let's take another look here at roughly the area where Baixa is located. So Baixa is more or less this region here, and it's divided into several different areas. Baixa is the historic and commercial center of Porto. It's the best location to stay in the city, and accommodation 1 is located here in the Avenida dos Aliados area, which is the main avenue of Porto and Baixa. It's roughly this avenue here. So it's a wide, spacious avenue with lots of attractions, shops, bars, and restaurants. It's not the most charming area of Baixa, okay? It's not the coolest or coziest area. Later on in the video, I'll show you which areas are the most charming in Baixa and Porto's historic center, but this is an amazing location for getting around the city. You're really close to the Aliados metro station here, which makes things a lot easier. And there are several attractions nearby that I'll be talking about throughout the video. So, the first accommodation, let's take a look at it, is the Pão de Açúcar Hotel, a 3-star hotel with a rating of 8.3 on Booking. The hotel has a view of the tower of the Porto City Hall building, okay? Which is very close by, located on Avenida dos Aliados. So it's a hotel for those looking for value for money and an excellent location in Baixa, in the center of Porto. It's a themed hotel with a bumper car theme like those Dodgem cars. So it has this theme. So the hotel is here in the center, very close to Avenida dos Aliados, and the location is just amazing. The links to the hotel, so you can check prices and see more information, are in the QR code on the screen and also in the links in the video description and in the first comment, okay? So let's move on to the second accommodation, which is also nearby, still close to Avenida dos Aliados, but more or less on the border between Baixa and Cedofeita. Cedofeita is also part of the historic center, and what's cool about Cedofeita is that it's the most cultural, most artistic neighborhood in the historic center. There are several studios, art galleries, bars, restaurants, so it's a really great area to stay in, and there are lots of attractions in this region. So here, look, accommodation number 2 is right here. Here you have the Clérigos Tower, and here is Rua da Galeria de Paris, which is one of the main nightlife areas in Porto, with lots of bars, restaurants, and a lively nightlife. Here is the Lela bookstore, which is one of the most beautiful bookstores in the world. Here is the Cordoaria Garden. Let me zoom in here. A little closer, near accommodation number 2, is Rua da Cedofeita, which is this street here. It's a pedestrian-only shopping street with stores, bars, and restaurants. Here is Miguel Bombarda Street, which is where the art galleries and studios are concentrated. So it's a very cultural area, an excellent location for you to stay in Porto, and it's also close to Avenida dos Aliados, okay? So Avenida dos Aliados is really close by here. So let's take a look at the second accommodation, which is right on the border between Baixa and Cedofeita. It's chic and basic gravity, a 4-star hotel with a 9.2 rating, very well reviewed by guests, and it's a modern hotel, okay? It's a really cool hotel because it has a modern atmosphere, and its facade is this one right here. It's located close to Rua da Cedofeita, between Rua da Cedofeita and Avenida dos Aliados. A fantastic location. It has a bar, it has parking, okay? So an excellent option here in one of the most vibrant areas, right? A more artistic and cultural environment is in Porto. So continuing our list here, still in Baixa, okay? So we're going to come here to the Baixa area where Hospedagem 3 is located. So Hospedagem 3 is right here. And this Baixa area is the main commercial district of Porto. So it's a very commercial area, quite busy during the day. Here you'll find the Bolhão market, which is a historic market, a food market, but where you can also find typical products from the region. So it's a really cool area. Here, look, is Santa Catarina Street, which is a commercial pedestrian street, the main one in Porto, with lots of shops, bars and restaurants. Here is the Vila Catarina shopping mall, which also has a variety of stores and a food court. Hospedagem 3 is very close to the Bolhão metro station, which is right here. So actually, it's located between the Trindade and Bolhão metro stations, which are two excellent metro stations, because most of Porto's metro lines pass through here. Trindade station is the only one where all the metro lines pass through, and at Bolhão station, several lines also pass, including the one that goes to the airport, so you can get to the airport without having to transfer, either from Bolhão or from Trindade. And at Trindade, the line that goes to Vila Nova de Gaia also passes through, which makes it easier for you to explore the neighboring city of Porto as well. So accommodation 3 is in a fantastic location, right in the middle of Porto's main shopping area. So let's take a look at it here. Still in the Baixa area, okay? So this region is part of Baixa. It's the Hotel Spot Family Suites. It's a 3-star hotel, all right? It has a rating of 9 on Booking, also very well reviewed. And what's great about this hotel is that it offers several room options. It has everything from compact and budget rooms to larger rooms, okay? Perfect for families, and these larger rooms even have small kitchens. So the hotel, an amazing location and a modern atmosphere as well, all right? And a really great location in the area of the Bolhão market and Santa Catarina Street, which is the most commercial part of Porto. So still continuing in the Baixa area, we're now going to accommodation 4. So just recapping here again, so we don't get lost, right? So the Baixa of Porto is basically this whole area here, okay? So we've seen accommodations 1, 2, and 3, and now we're coming to number 4. So here is accommodation 4. Accommodation 4 is located here, and it's at the São Bento train station. The São Bento train station is right in the heart of the Baixa. It's a historic station, and from there, trains depart to the small towns that are close to Porto, okay? There's also a metro station here, right in front. It's just a few steps from Avenida dos Aliados, which is right here. And it's a very central location, really close to Porto Cathedral, which is right here, okay? So it's an amazing location for you to get around to all parts of the Baixa area. Here you already have, look, Santa Catarina Street, right? Which is the commercial area. So it's a really great location. And accommodation 4 is actually inside the São Bento train station itself. It's the passenger hostel with a score of 8.9 on Booking, which is a very good rating. So let's take a look at some photos here. So look, it's actually inside the train station. It has both private and shared rooms, a spacious shared kitchen, and it's a hostel that encourages interaction among guests, okay? So there are several things, right, that are organized to encourage interaction among guests, which is really cool. Here are some of the shared rooms, but there are also private rooms. And it really stands out for its central location inside the São Bento train station. Just a reminder, the links for you to check prices are in the QR code in the video description and in the first comment. And now we're going to come to accommodation 5, still here in Baixa, okay? Accommodation 5 is located in the area here at Praça da Batalha, which is also a very famous square in downtown Porto. There are several bars and restaurants around here. It's very close to the São Bento station, but Praça da Batalha is located a bit higher up. So to get down to São Bento station from here, the streets are quite steep, okay? And from here you can also go down to Santa Catarina Street. It's very close to Santa Catarina Street, where the commercial pedestrian area begins. The nearest metro station, Hospedagem 5, is here, and there's the Bolão metro station over here, or the São Bento train or metro station right here, okay? But whichever direction you go, you'll need to go downhill to reach the station. From Praça da Batalha, from the Praça da Batalha area, the Guindais funicular also departs, which goes down to the Ribeira area, okay? So let's take a look at Hospedagem 5, which is the MUV Hotel Porto Centro, a budget 2-star hotel with a rating of 8.5 on Booking. So it's located in this building here, right next to Praça da Batalha. And it's a budget hotel with compact rooms, okay? A modern environment. But it's a hotel without major infrastructure, more for those who just want a bed to sleep in. And it also offers breakfast, okay? An amazing location here in the central area of Porto, right next to Praça da Batalha. And still close to Praça da Batalha, we're going to check out a luxury accommodation for those of you looking for a more luxurious, more memorable experience, right? When staying in Porto. So let's take a look at accommodation 6. It's the GA Palace Hotel and Spa. And the cool thing is that it's located in a restored 19th century building, okay? So that's a major highlight. A 5-star luxury hotel with excellent infrastructure, rated 9.6 on Booking, making it one of the highest rated hotels in Porto. It has both an outdoor and indoor pool, and the pool is heated, which is a big plus. It offers luxury amenities and luxury linens, okay? So the atmosphere is really nice. It has a restaurant, a spa, and a really cool decor. Look, here's the indoor part of the pool. The rooms are very luxurious and well decorated. So for those looking for a different kind of experience, a luxury stay in Porto with excellent infrastructure and a great location right in the city center, this is it. And still in the Baixa area, we're going to look at the last hotel on our list in the Baixa region. So just a reminder, Baixa is basically this whole area here, okay? And accommodation number 7, in my opinion, is in the best part of Baixa. It's the most charming area, a very historic and old part, all right? An excellent location to stay, both in terms of the atmosphere and the geographic location. Let's zoom in here. So, accommodation number 7 has the advantage of being located here at Largo de São Domingos, right at the beginning of Rua das Flores. And Rua das Flores is a very charming street, a pedestrian-only shopping promenade with lots of stores, bars, restaurants, historic buildings, a really nice atmosphere. So from here, you can go down to the São Bento station area, which is right here. Look, the São Bento train station. The São Bento metro station is here, so it's a really short distance, okay? And on the other side, you can go down to the Ribeira. So accommodation number 7 is here, and you can walk down to the Ribeira do Porto area. Praça da Ribeira is right here. I'll talk more about this later when we discuss accommodation number 8. So it's a fantastic location because you're in a higher area here, and you can go down either to the Ribeira or to the São Bento station area and Avenida dos Aliados, and you can also walk here, look, to the area of the Clérigos Tower and Galeria de Paris Street. So within a distance of about 200 or 300 meters, you're in the main parts of Porto's historic center, the Baixa, and you're in the area that I consider the most charming part of the entire historic center of Porto. Without a doubt, it's a fantastic location. So let's take a look at accommodation number 7. It's the Porto AS 1829 Hotel, a 4-star hotel with a rating of 8.9 on Booking, very highly rated by guests, and it's located in a historic building that used to house a stationery store, Araújo e Sobrinho. And now it is home to the AS 1829 Hotel. It also has a restaurant, the Galeria do Largo restaurant. So it's a charming, cozy hotel in a beautifully restored, historic building with a fantastic location, okay? This area, as you can see, is very charming, full of historic buildings. Here is the Largo de São Domingos, and right here is the beginning of Rua das Flores, which is one of the most charming streets in Porto. So the historic building has been restored, but it still retains, all of its history. Look, this is right at the beginning of Rua das Flores. So it's an excellent, fantastic location to stay here, right in Porto's historic center. And continuing here in this area, now in Porto's Ribeira. So the Ribeira of Porto is one of the most historic parts here in Porto. On the banks of the Douro River, a sensational location with a beautiful view. On the other side is the Cais de Gaia, which is in the city of Vila Nova de Gaia. So when I talk about accommodation number 9, we'll discuss the Cais de Gaia. And what's cool here is that there's a boat taxi line that in just a few minutes, a short crossing, lets you easily access both the Cais de Ribeira and the Cais de Gaia. Both banks of the Douro River are filled with bars, restaurants, and have a lively nightlife. So let me zoom in here. Look. Here is the Praça da Ribeira, which is the main square here in Ribeira do Porto, and it's an area packed with lots of bars and restaurants. Hotel number 8 is about 100 meters from Praça da Ribeira, okay? An amazing location. This part here is an uphill climb, okay? So here, let me change the zoom here. So from this area here where accommodation 7 was located, it's a slope that you go down to get to Ribeira do Porto. So accommodation 8 is halfway down this slope, and in this area you also have the Palácio da Bolsa and the Mercado Ferreira Borges, which are, well, famous places here. And here is the Guindais funicular, which goes up to the Praça da Batalha area. Another attraction in this area is the Dom Luís Purpur Bridge, which connects downtown Porto with Vila Nova de Gaia. So let's take a look at accommodation 8, which is in a fantastic location here in Ribeira do Porto. And that's the Caris Porto Ribeira Hotel, rated 8.3 on Booking, a 4-star hotel. So look, here is the Dom Luís Purpur Bridge, right, which connects Porto with Vila Nova de Gaia. So it's a very traditional hotel here in Ribeira, okay? Look, it's the CH, which stands for Caris Hotel, so it's known as CH. So it has a modern atmosphere, but it's located in a historic building here. So here it is, CH Caris Hotel. So it's located, if you go down here, you're already at the Cais da Ribeira, the Douro River, and on the other side, the Cais de Gaia. And here is the Praça da Ribeira, which is the main part of Porto's Ribeira, one of the main nightlife areas, with bars and restaurants in Porto. So it's a fantastic location, okay? To stay in a historic area full of old buildings. And now we're going to cross over to the other side here, to Vila Nova de Gaia, across the Douro River. So accommodation number 9 is here in Vila Nova de Gaia, and it's located in the upper part of Vila Nova de Gaia. Let me zoom in here. So accommodation number 9 has the unique feature of being right next to the Dom Luís Wave Bridge, which is one of the main attractions in the area. It's right next to Jardim do Moro and the Jardim do Moro metro station, and in just one stop you reach downtown. So it's a fantastic location. You can also walk across the bridge. And here, still in Jardim do Moro, is the Gaia cable car, which is one of the main attractions. It goes down to the base station here, which is at Cais de Gaia, in the lower part of the city, right on the banks of the Douro River. So Vila Nova de Gaia has its lower part here, along the Douro River, and its higher part up here at the top of Jardim do Moro. And by staying here, you have easy access to all these parts of Vila Nova de Gaia, as well as to cross over here to Porto. In fact, you can cross on foot and walk all the way to the Ribeira area in Porto. What's great about Vila Nova de Gaia is that it is home to the port wine cellars. So there are several cellars here in Vila Nova de Gaia that are quite famous, right? And they're really cool and very touristy as well. So the Nova accommodation is in a fantastic location here in Vila Nova de Gaia, but with super easy access to Porto. And it's the Vinte Ponte de Ferro, a 4-star hotel rated 9.4, very well reviewed on Booking. And its standout feature is that it's right next to the Dom Luís Bridge. It's a really nice hotel, okay? Well decorated, with good infrastructure. It has a bar, a restaurant, a solarium here, and a pool. And look, it's really right next to the Dom Luís Bridge, okay? So the view here is just amazing. So from the hotel, down below is the Cais de Gaia, and on the other side is the Cais de Ribeira. An incredible view. So, facing the Douro River. So here on the bridge, look, on the upper level, the metro runs, and you can walk across, and then on the lower level of the bridge, you can also walk, and there's car traffic as well, okay? So it's a well-decorated hotel with a bar and an amazing location here with a spectacular view of the Douro, of Vila Nova de Gaia, and of Porto. And now we're going to talk about neighborhoods and areas that are around Porto's historic center and that offer more affordable accommodations with less inflated prices and easy access to the historic center by metro. So starting here, accommodation number 10 is in the Trindade area, okay? So the Trindade area is this area here. So it's right at the transition from the historic center to the newer part of Porto. So here you'll find larger hotels, better infrastructure, and prices with a better cost-benefit ratio, and it's very close to the Trindade metro station, which is the only station in all of Porto where all the metro lines pass through, including the one that goes to Vila Nova de Gaia and the one that goes to the airport, so that makes things a lot easier. Yeah, here the Hospedagem 10 is very close to the Trindade station, but it's down a slope, okay? So you have to go downhill, and Avenida dos Aliados isn't that far from here. You also won't be too far from Rua de Santa Catarina and the Bolo Market, which are right here, so you can walk around this whole area, but you will be outside the historic center of Porto, okay? So let's take a look at Hospedagem 10, which is the E-Hotel Porto, a 4-star hotel with a rating of 8.7. It's a modern hotel, okay? For those looking for value for money, here's a room with a view, right? The Baixa area of Porto, right? The historic center is right here, just ahead. So it's a hotel with compact rooms, okay? For those seeking value for money, it offers breakfast and is a modern and affordable lodging option in the outskirts of Porto. Look, it also has a gym. And now, still continuing with neighborhoods that are relatively close to the historic center, we're heading to the Boavista neighborhood, okay? So, accommodation number 11 is located in the Boavista neighborhood. So, the Boavista neighborhood is this whole area here, okay? There's a metro station here. There are several others in the neighborhood as well. If you come by metro, it's about 2 or 3 stops to the historic center. There are also buses here that you can take to reach the historic center. And it's a newer, more modern area. You'll find hotels here with a business profile, hotels that offer better value for money, okay? And here is the roundabout, the Boavista roundabout, which is quite famous. The Casa da Música is here, which is the venue for concerts and shows. The Bom Sucesso market is located here, so accommodation number 11 is at the Bom Sucesso market. It's a market that offers both typical products and also has gastronomic areas. And right next to it is the Cidade do Porto shopping mall, which also has stores and a food court. So this is a more modern area, more spacious, and a good location for those who want to stay not too far from the historic center, but in a newer part of the city. So the Hotel da Música is a 4-star hotel, rated 8.8, and its unique feature is that it is located inside the Bom Sucesso market, okay? So here, look, there are several room options, and it offers breakfast. So this is the Bom Sucesso market, and the hotel is inside the market, okay? So for those who want to stay in a newer, more modern part of Porto, with easy access to the historic center by metro or bus. Now, we're going to finish up at Hospedagem 2, which is located in the Bonfim neighborhood. So the Bonfim neighborhood is roughly this area here. It's right next to the historic downtown area, Baixa. Hospedagem 2 is here, just a few meters from a metro station, and in just 2 stops, you're already at the historic center. So it's a very good location, and it's an area with more affordable, cheaper hotels. So it's ideal for those who want to save money and stay close to the historic center. The Bonfim neighborhood doesn't have as charming an atmosphere as Baixa or the historic center, but it's a multicultural area with good infrastructure for shopping, bars and restaurants, and it stands out for having a metro station that gets you quickly to Baixa. Another advantage is that it's right next to Campanha train station, which is Porto's main station from where trains depart to Lisbon, various cities in Portugal and also to Spain. So that's a plus, especially if you're going to use Campanha train station. Now let's take a look at Hospedagem 2. And there's Tambre Heroismo. It's a 4-star hotel, but with very affordable prices, okay? It has a rating of 8.8 on booking.com. So it's a modern hotel that offers excellent value for money and is right next to a metro station, okay? Really close by. So it's an excellent option for those who want to save money and use the metro to get to the historic center. So those were the tips on where to stay in Porto. I hope you enjoyed them. You can access the links to the hotels through the QR code in the video description and in the first comment. Take care. See you in the next video.